Join me today as we do more work on our little kitchen project by putting the top cabinets in. Stay tuned and see how this all came together. Alright, so off camera I figured out the doors for this half of the kitchen. For this half I'm gonna show you how what I did. So basically I followed the same instructions that I used on the bottom cabinets. I cut my scrapbook paper that I painted as wood grain a ½ inch bigger than what I wanted my doors. I folded over 1/4 inch at each end. I glued those sides down. That's all I did. Why did I make 4 there? I have no idea why I made 4. I only need 3 doors on this one. And you'll have to play with your kitchen and see what you want for both the height and the width of your cabinet doors. Like I found this cabinet is 3 inches tall. The finished size of my height for my cabinet doors is 2 7/8. So you're just going to have to play with it and get it where you want it as far as size goes. I don't really like that one. No, it's not the right size. Oh, so let's see. I'm going to turn these. I'm going to turn them around the way I want them and glue them in. And there's a little space between them. I could have went bigger, but I decided to just go that way. So just cut them so that they fit the way you want them is really the message here. And I glued the edges down with glue stick, but I'm gluing them to the cabinets with the wallpaper border paste that I've been using for other stuff. It's really cold in here, like I've said on several videos. I know, I keep whining about the temperature, but it's cold. Trying to keep the house at 60, but it's not quite getting 60 in my craft room. Where I'm crafting, it's staying down quite a bit less than 60 degrees. So it's not the best for getting glue to dry. And I'm finding this wallpaper border paste is behaving the best for me in this weather. And I don't remember, to tell you the truth, I don't remember which glue I used when I did the other doors. And I probably should have cut these a little wider, but I decided to just make them the same as the ones on the other side of the kitchen. Get them glued down, and then we're just going to weight them. And that's really all there is to it. I will have a link to I believe it's the second video in the series, in the kitchen cabinet series, that had the directions for doing the doors. Just cut your paper for your doors a ½ inch bigger than you want, fold over 1/4 inch on each side, glue those edges down. Usually just enough thickness to make a believable cabinet door. And make sure that you're running the grain of your wood, if you're using a wood grain, a faux wood grain on your cabinet doors, that you run the wood grain vertically on all your doors. So that's really all there is to this. I'm going to put glue the last one down as soon as I get them all glued down and I make sure they're straight. I'm going to lay some weight on top of this to help it glue and leave the lights on in here so that it hopefully will glue in the next, will dry in the next bit. That has been a real struggle for me, is getting stuff to dry. So, this closed. The other one dried to the point where they stayed still in about an hour, so I think this one will too. What I'm doing is putting some parchment paper on, then my ruler, and then I'm weighting it down, so I got something under the end. And put some weights on it. By weights, I mean containers of paint and glue. So when this is all dry, I will come back and we'll go on to installing our cabinets. Alright, so now we are going to mount our cabinet onto our wall. And we are going to spread, I'm just going to use some tacky glue. And I'm going to use a spreader. We don't need to cover the entire back, but we do want to have a fairly even coat. Now try to avoid getting it onto your wallpaper. It's better to start up a little too high and scoot down into place. And now we are going to weight this down. And because we can only do one side at a time, let's see if I can get this. Let's go ahead and put some pins in the back, because I want this lined up with the top. So put it down on my tray, make sure everything is lined up right how I want it. Get a few pins in here just to make sure it doesn't wobble on us, because we don't want this wobbling up and down. And I'm in a really awkward position here. When you're working on yours, you can get yourself where you can see better than I can, because I got to have the camera where I would normally have my head. Alright, so we've got that. Double check that we are where we want to be. Yes, we are. So we're now going to put some weight, and I'm using my wallpaper paste, and I happen to have another tub of similar size here, so I'm just using it. I'm going to weight this down and give that glue plenty of time to dry, and after that's dry, I'll probably come back and go ahead and glue the other side down, and then we'll be done for the week. Alright, so I think this is dry enough now that I can go ahead and glue the other side of my kitchen cabinets down. And once again, we're going to have to be really careful how we line this up. Oops. The glue works better when you take the lid off of it. I have to say, I am so much happier with this glue now that it's in this bottle from in the original bottle. It's working so much easier. Let me get a spreader here and get this spread out. Toss that in my garbage can before I get glue all over anything else. Okay. Now, again, I'm going to put this on its upside down. I'm putting it upside down, that way I know that the top of my wall and the top of my cabinets are lined up. By putting the pins in, it keeps it from shifting too much up and down. It's not going to help it any, well, it'll help a little bit side to side too. And I don't think I can put any more in. So now, double check that it looks right. It does. And put some weight on it, because we want weight on it so we make sure that we are maintaining contact. So I'm going to let this dry and then I'll be back. Alright, our glue is dry enough. I can take the weight off of this now and let it continue to dry. It'll be a while, like I've said many times, it's cold and damp here, so it's going to take a while for my glue to dry. Thank you for watching today. Be sure and check the blog post. There'll be hopefully more photos there. If you want to get a hold of me, the Facebook page is usually the fastest way to do that. If you'd like to help make this channel better, be sure and check out my Patreon page. Then you can have your name at the end of the video like these folks. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.